Are we eating today, Chris?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Jeez.
What do you
People
hope,
here would be disappointed if we weren't.
what do you hope to take away from this first exhibition game? What are your priorities?
You know, I really haven't thought about it at all till today. Be real candid with you. Emporia played Danny last night, played Tulsa last night. I think Danny won by 11, if I'm not mistaken. But I'd like to see how our guys react, guarding different actions. I'd like to see how they react to scout report, because we'll have at least a little scout report. Because we're so young, everything's going to be new. I'd like to see how Ben, Jamari, Perry, and Andrew and other freshmen react under the lights, you know, for the first time. You know, it's one thing to get after each other in practice. I'd like to see us get after somebody, so to see what that's like. But I would say, as much as anything, just kind of see. We only scrimmaged once. And that's not a good deal usually going into your first game. You only have one scrimmage, and that one was cut short. So just to kind of see how we react in scrimmage type situations, or game type situations.
Last year, Thomas and Tyshawn carried a majority of the load, I think, for the most of the season. Now you've got 4 seniors and really a bunch of young guys. Do you like the mix or the blend of your team?
I've got to say yes, because if I say no, then I'm being negative. So I mean, it's a hand we've been dealt, but I like the hand. It's a good hand. A lot of people like to have our hand. I'm not sure that we're what other people think we probably should be yet, but I'm not saying we couldn't get there. So I like having talented young kids with good leadership. That's a pretty good combination, and we do have those two things without question.
How much do you like to scrimmage by this point, and the reason you haven't scrimmaged so much is just getting guys acclimated to...
Yeah, we've gone a little slower, Kevin. When I say scrimmage, we scrimmage some in practice every day. I'm talking about with officials. And so probably just going a little slower than what maybe I thought we would be going. And the other thing is the games are happening sooner. I mean, we're in October still. I mean, so I can't remember the last time, or if we've ever played a game or a scrimmage game in October. So it's not that we're off schedule. It's just everything's kind of been sped up, I would say.
I think you called it a weird dynamic to this team. Have you looked back, is this the first time you've had that many freshmen and seniors? And what's the challenges of the weird dynamic?
I haven't looked back. I can't remember having a situation like this. But it's a good situation. I mean, if you're going to have freshmen, you might as well have some old guys that can teach them, you know, and we've got that. I mean, our seniors aren't seniors, just seniors. 3 of them are fifth-year seniors. So, I mean, we're experienced in that area. The thing about our freshmen is, freshmen that are a little bit unique to Kansas, is that most freshmen that we've depended on to play immediately have been guys that come from really exposed situations where they've played in state championships and they played big time on the AAU circuit, and they've been in games before and that kind of stuff. Perry's won state championships, but Perry hasn't really been exposed as a lot of other good players out there has been exposed. And Ben hasn't been exposed at all, and Jamari doesn't know anything as far as how to react under the lights and that kind of stuff. And same with Andrew. I mean, we've got a good freshman class, but they're kind of unheralded and lack the star power. When we had Mario and Julian and Brandon, they came here because they knew they wouldn't have come here if they didn't think they could start as freshmen. These guys, just want to be part of the team and fit in, and so that's where we got to kind of amp it up with them to get them to understand that their performance and their roles such that we're not going to be real good unless you're real aggressive, and we got to improve in that area.
What could Jamari show you over the next week or two with some open minutes at the 4 spot? What do you want to see from him?
Well, Jamari's going to start tomorrow. Barring any unforeseen things happening. He's played the hardest, and in the last week he's played the best of the other guys. So he's going to start tomorrow, and then Perry will be our first guy off the bench at Biggs. But what I want to see Jamari do is be able to do it in a game and not just practice. There's no pressure in practice. If you miss a shot, it's no big deal. That kind of situation. He's never been in a game. Jamari's just played 1 year basketball, really, ever. And so we talk about kids from overseas coming over, and only been playing 2 or 3 years. He's played less than those kids, and so I just want to see how he reacts to a game type situation as much as anything.
You said this team has pretty good defensive potential.
Yes.
What do you see that kind of leads you that they can become that?
Well, I think, I've always thought it's easier to get guys to guard than it is to score. So I mean, that should be our job to get them to guard. Like Ben's not yet, but he should be. He will be. Travis should be as good a defender as there is. Elijah's solid. Jeff's as good a rim protector as we have in the country. And at the 4 spot, I know Thomas put up some big numbers, but he did guard the other team's worst player every game too. So I mean, there were reasons for that, and so I think throughout, because we needed him for offense, but I think that there's going to be a situation through committee. There's no reason why Jamari and Perry and Kevin can give us more things, and Justin, and there's no reason why we can't have a presence defensively as well. So. And Anrio Adams should be a great defender in time. He doesn't know what he's doing yet, but he'll be a great defender in time because he's so long.
When you mentioned being aggressive, were you talking more on the offensive end or defensive?
Everything,
end or both?
mindset, Kevin. Like it's, this is my deal. I don't know if there's been a freshman. I asked Travis, has anybody told you that, hey, don't get hurt, because if you get hurt, you may not get your spot back. Nobody's told Travis that. Nobody's told, walked up to Elijah and said, hey, I know you're the guy now, but don't sleep on me. No, we don't have that yet. And we got nice kids, and nice kids are great. But we certainly need that aggressiveness, that mindset that, hey, wake up every morning, I'm going to do whatever to take his spot, and if just don't stub your toe. And I don't say that to be that he should be mean or belligerent or anything like that, but that's good for the old guys. Old guys want that. So that's what I'm talking about. It's just that attitude to blend in. We don't need blenders. We need guys to take charge. So that's what I mean by that. The whole thing from an aggressive standpoint, from a mindset. So.
Is Perry one of those guys he's tough to break, of the habit of just blending in?
I don't know that he's tough to break. I just think they're young. I mean, we're just young. I mean, hey, we're ranked preseason 7, which we don't deserve to be. And the only reason we are is because past good players. So we're ranked preseason 7, and Ellis and Traylor and McLemore and White, they got to keep us there. And they never made a basket. So I mean, they just need to be. The seniors have to do their job. Seniors have to play well and drag them along. But at some point in time, the lights got to click on and said, hey, I belong. This is my deal. And it just hasn't quite done that yet.
Coach, any update on Zach? Is he feeling better, heading in the right direction?
Apparently doing better with exercises and all that stuff. But I asked him the other day, if he could shoot. He said it hurts too bad. So I don't see any immediate resolution on that at all. Because it does, he gets his arm in a certain position and it still bothers him a lot. So.
With Jamari, what's the biggest thing he's doing in practice that's made him?
Competing hard, playing to his athletic ability. I've said that a lot. I'd like to have our team play to their athletic ability. This team's fairly athletic. So them playing to their athletic ability will definitely show up on the defensive end as much as anything, and rebounding, because he is relentless now. He'll go after the ball.
Did he do that even last year when he was sitting out?
Jamari last year played, he guarded Thomas every possession, and Ben guarded Tyshawn every possession. So it was, so Tyshawn loved it because he would actually take it personal if Ben made him look bad. And Thomas loved it because Jamari did make him look bad some. And if they played 3 days, Jamari may get the best of him, or played 4, Jamari may get the best of him 1 out of 4. And then the other 3, Thomas let him know, that he was still not quite there yet. But that's good for him. We did see him as a competitor last year without question.
How big is the separation between Ben and the other guys that might see some time at that wing spot?
I'd say it's pretty large. Yeah, the first perimeter guy off the bench will be Andrew White. And Nadir could be too, but Andrew would be the first guy. And yeah, Ben and Travis have separated themselves pretty good.
You think you have a lot more natural scorers on this team than last year's that relied on Tyshawn and Thomas so much? Guys that could put the ball in the hole.
I'd say last year, in all honesty, you may think I'm crazy. Thomas, Ty are only two natural scorers, but Elijah was capable of getting 20 any night. Jeff got 25, and Connor, can make 5 threes in a game. And Travis was Big 12 Player of the Week and had 26 or whatever. Without question, our best scorers on the team are the guys that I just mentioned, and that's not good because they were the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th best scorers last year. So we got more guys that can get the ball in the basket, but more guys doesn't necessarily equate to 35 a game. So really, maybe more balance than last year, but I don't know if we have more. I don't know if we have more scoring punch than last year. We might before it's all said and done.
Well, you talked about Perry being maybe your best low post natural scorer.
Natural score, yeah.
And then a guy like Jamari with his energy, similar to Kevin.
But to me, Perry could be a national scorer and get 6 if he don't put himself in position to score. Thomas could play bad and get you 15. So that's what I mean by that.
Does this team here remind you of any previous teams you've had as far as
Here in
makeup?
Kansas?
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit like when Mario and Brandon and Julian were all freshmen. We started out slow, got real good late when they started realizing that they're good. And I think there'll be a period of time this year when the light clicks on when these young kids think that they're good too. But that's probably the closest, maybe.
Elijah's hit some big shots in his career, obviously, but when you recruited him, did you feel he had that capability of hitting the big shots?
Well, I didn't recruit him because I thought he'd make big shots. I thought he would be about as good an all-around guard as there was. He's not a percentage shooter yet, but there's no reason why he can't shoot 40 from 3. And he's strong, and he can slide, and he's got bounce, and he's got vision. He may not be a jack of all trades, or he's kind of a jack all trades, master of none kind of guy as a point guard. There'll be guys that are faster, maybe guys that have better vision, and maybe guys that shoot it better, maybe guys that jump a little higher, maybe this or that. But I don't know if there's very many out there when you add it all together that do all the things combined better. He's very important to us, obviously.
Does he need to get to the free throw line more this year?
Yeah. But he will, because he'll be more aggressive. Yeah, he does. He won't shoot as many as Tyshawn probably did last year, but he needs to shoot 4 or 5 free throws a game without question.
How well is the team taking care of the ball at practice? Turnover issue?
Oh no, we've got some issues. We've got some turnover issues without question, and we'll continue to have those issues for a period of time. But it is getting gradually better. But we'll if you guys, we don't have press roll anymore. Do we still have press roll, kinda?
Sorta.
We sorta have press roll. Well, those of you that are sorta sitting on press roll, have your hands ready tomorrow. Those of you that don't, I don't think we'll make those bad passes.
Is that with Elijah in the game, or with him out, or both?
Both, he can turn it over at an alarming rate as well. So, if you remember, didn't Nadir last year play his butt off and almost have a quadruple-double his first exhibition game? Had like 11 points, or triple-double, 11 points and 9 assists and 8 turnovers. And I think we're capable of making plays like that.
Your thoughts on Cole going to Houston?
I told Cole and I text, he said it was a good opportunity for him. He's got the best attitude. If they would have traded him to Toronto, hey, this is the perfect spot. He's the best. But he needs to get a new contract. And this is a very important year, and he needs to get on the floor in order to get that. And so, he really believes this is a good move for him. So he thinks he'll have more opportunities there, even though he had a pretty good preseason. He had a couple of double-doubles, and did some things, but, I mean, God, you got Ibaka, and you got Nick, and you got Perkins, and that are paying a ton of money too. I mean, they got, Oklahoma City's pretty loaded up front. You can't beat those guys out right now, so might as well go somewhere where you can play. So, I was disappointed because I like Oklahoma City so much, but I was happy for him. I think it'll be better for his career. One other thing, if you guys would give us a plug on this, I know some of you already have, and we appreciate that.